2646. 2647. 2648. 2649. 2650. 2651. 2652. 2653. 2654. 2655. 2656. 2657. 2658. 2659. 2660. 2661. 2662. 2663. 2664. 2665. 2666. 2667. 2668. 2669. 2670. 2671. 2672. 2673. 2674. 2675. 2676. 2678. 2677. Sorry. 2678. 2678, 2679, 2680, 2681, 2682, 2683, 2684, 2685, 2686, 2687, 2688, 2689, 2690, 2691. Senator Yahya Abdullahi. Kebino.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Senator Yahya Abdullahi, representing Kebino. I rise to move a motion for the distinguished Senate to approve the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 15th May 2019. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Ume.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I rise to second the motion that the votes and proceedings of yesterday be approved by the Senate. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Wednesday, 15th May 2019 be approved, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Votes and proceedings on Wednesday, 15th May 2019 is hereby approved. Let me acknowledge the presence of staff and students of Cornerstone Montessori School, Kudo in Abuja here, who are in a gallery to watch our Senate proceedings. I wish them a successful observation of our proceedings. Let me also remind distinguished colleagues that we have the Minister of Health who has been invited to brief the Senate on Tuesday, the 21st May 2019 at 11 a.m. on the current state of facilities and healthcare services in the Nigeria teaching hospitals. I employ the distinguished senators to be present in time for the briefing. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very respected colleagues, the first business of the day is the presentation of a House bill standing in my name on the Corporate Bodies Members Emolument Act Repeal Bill 2019. Mr. President, I wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Corporate Bodies Members Emolument Act Repeal Bill 2019, HB 669, first reading.
Corporate Bodies Members Emolument Act Repeal Bill 2019, HB 669, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second business of the day is also the presentation of a House bill standing in my name on the National Institute for Brackish Water Fisheries Research, Ngoni Andoni, Establishment Etc. Bill 2019. Mr. President, may I wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, National Institute of Brackish Water Fisheries Research, Andoni, Establishment Etc. Bill 2019, HB 1310, first reading.
National Institute for Brackish Water Fishery Research, Ngoni Establishment Etc. Bill 2019, HB 1310, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the third business of the day is the presentation of a House bill standing in my name on the Nigeria Council for Management Development Bill 2019. Mr. President, may we invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Nigerian Council for Management Development Bill 2019, HB 461, first reading.
Nigeria Council for Management Development Bill 2019, HB 461, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fourth business of the day is the presentation of House Bill standing in my name on the Traffic Warden Service Bill 2019. Mr. President, we wish to invite the Clerk of Senate to read the short title of the bill.
Clerk of Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, Traffic Warden Service Bill 2019, HB 596, first reading.
Traffic Warden Service Bill 2019, HB 596, first reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the fifth business of the day is the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Banking, Finance, Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions on the screening of the nomination of Godwin Emefiele for renewal of appointment as the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Distinguished senators will recall that the request was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 14th May 2019. Mr. President, may wish to invite Senator Rafiu Adebayo, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the presentation and consideration of the report.
Senator Rafiu, right.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. My distinguished colleagues, I'm Rafiu Adebayo Ibrahim. I represent Kwara South. I rise to move that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions on the appointment of Godwin Emefiele as Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. As so moved.
Senator Geshambasi.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the motion so ably moved by Senator Rafiu. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against the nay, the ayes have it. Senator Bryan, can you lay your report and present it?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. The Senate has been sitting on Tuesday, 14th May. Consider the report of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the confirmation for renewal of appointment of Mr. Godwin Emefiele, CON, as Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and refers same to the Committee on Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions for further legislative action. The request for the confirmation of the nominees in accordance with Section 8.1 and 2 of the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, which clearly stipulate that the appointment of the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria shall be made by the President, subject to the confirmation of same by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The committee screened the nominee accordingly, which was yesterday. He made the presentation of his resume, which cover his experience in the banking industry even before becoming the Governor of Central Bank. On assumption as the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria in 2014, Mr. Godwin Emefiele brought a number of initiatives that positively impacted on the Nigerian economy and boosted the revenue generation of the country through the promotion and ensuring the adherence to accountability and transparency of government finances, in the process liquidating ailing financial institutions, bridging not too sound banking institutions, and the maintenance of stable interest rates and effective management of our foreign exchange regime. He also initiated and established several policies and programs which have positive effect on the economy. After the screening and scrutinizing his CV, at the end of the screening exercise of the nominee, the committee's findings are as follows: that the nominee have more than 32 years of banking experience with outstanding performance in all positions he occupies. That the nominee understands the diverse economic nature of the country and has displayed profound knowledge of the continued existence of economic stability in the country. That the nominee has performed credibly in his first tenure, which resulted to the exit of the nation out of economic recession. Going by the nominee's character, banking experience, vast economic knowledge, and performance in his first tenure, he is qualified for the position of the governor of the central bank for another term, in which he has been nominated by Mr. President. In view of the above, the committee recommends that the Senate do approve the confirmation and renewal of appointment of Mr. Godwin Emefiele, CON, as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The committee wishes to sincerely express its appreciation to the Senate for opportunity to serve in this capacity.
Yes, Senator Tazi.
President, for the recognition, I am Senator Chukwuka Otaze. I represent the good people of Enugu State. I rise to second the motion of the report as presented by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking. Very well researched, well written, and presented the report on what? Continue, please, continue. I second the motion. Continue, please, continue. Mr. Continue now. No, you're okay. You're not please fire out. Please don't distract me here. Mr. President, I rise to second the motion as moved by Senator Rafiu on this report. And I go further to speak. Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead now. He said I should speak on, but stop disturbing me here. I've seconded the motion.
If there are no leader of the Senate, so we can move in committee of the whole and consider. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate goes into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the President and the Senate do resolve into committee of the whole to consider this report as so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, if there are no objections, I'll put the question. Will the Senate approve the renewal of the nomination of Godwin Emefiele for appointment as Governor of the Central Bank? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse plenary for the chair to report progress.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the chair now goes back to plenary to report progress. I so second, Mr. President.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleague, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee of Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions on the screening of Mr. President's nominee for appointment as the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria and approved nomination of Mr. Godwin I. Emefiele as the Governor of the Central Bank. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, confirmation. Will the Senate confirm the renewal of the nomination of Godwin I. Emefiele for the appointment as Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The renewal of the appointment of Godwin I. Emefiele is hereby confirmed as the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. On behalf of the Senate, let me congratulate the Governor of the Central Bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, on the renewal of his appointment. We wish him a useful 5 years and we'll use the opportunity to continue to provide support to ensure that the economy of our country continues to improve and address the most important area of ensuring the macroeconomic stability. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that we stand down the consideration of the sixth business of the day due to the absence. You should have done. You are doing it. Okay. The sixth business of the day is the presentation of the Conference Committee report on the Theatre Arts Professional Regulatory Council Establishment, etc. Bill 2019. Mr. President, we wish to invite Senator Benga Ashafa to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Benga Ashafa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Benga Ashafa, standing in for Senator Emmanuel Polka, Bayelsa Central, Benga Ashafa from Lagos East. I rise to move that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Theatre Arts Professionals Regulatory Council Establishment, etc., Bill 2019 SB 681 to be laid. I so move.
Senator Rozoko.
Oko, Cross River North. I rise to support the motion that second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Theatre Arts Professionals Regulatory Council Establishment, Bill 2019 SB 6581. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the Conference Committee report on the Nigeria Postal Services Act, Cap N127LFN 2004, repeal and I thought okay, yeah, that the Senate do receive a report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Theatre Arts Professional Regulatory Council Establishment, etc. Bill 2019 SB 681. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Benga Ashafa, come and lay. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the seventh order of the day is the presentation of the Conference Committee report on the Nigeria Postal Services Act, CAP N127, LFN 2004 repeal and reenactment Bill 2019. Mr. President, we wish to invite Senator Gilbert Naji, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Gilbert Naji.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Gilbert Naji, Enugu East. Mr. President, distinguished senators, I rise to move that the Senate do receive the Conference Committee report on the Nigerian Postal Service Act, CAP N127 LFN 2004, repeal and reenactment Bill 2019, SB 437. I so move.
Senator John Eno.
Mr. President, my name is John Owaneno, Cross River Central. I second the motion that the Senate do receive the Conference Committee report on the Nigeria Postal Services Act, CAP N127 LFN 2004, repeal and reenactment Bill 2019. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the Conference Committee report on the Nigeria Postal Services Act, CAP N127 LFN 2004, repeal and reenactment Bill 2019 SB 437. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Gilbert Naji, come and lay the report. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very respected colleagues, the first order of the day is a motion standing in my name on the withholding of assent on the Nigerian Institute of Public Management Establishment, etc. Bill 2019, pursuant to Section 58, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Mr. President, with your permission, I wish to move the motion.
Right.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the Senate recalls that the Presidency in C has signified the withholding of its assent on the Nigerian Institute of Public Management Establishment, etc. Bill 2019, pursuant to Section 58, subsection 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. The Senate notes that the President made some observations which are relevant to the implementation of the bill when assented to, relying on Orders 53.6 and 88B of the Standing Orders of the Senate. The Senate accordingly resolves to rescind its decisions on Clause 4 of the bill and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for the consideration and passage. I so move.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion ably and as moved by the Senate leader. I so second, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, it's just actually one clause, A to H. So Pretty straightforward. I'll put the question. Those in favor of that clause 2A to H stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. As have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse plenary for the chair to report progress.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate revert plenary to report progress and so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole considered the Nigeria Institute of Public Management Establishment, etc. Bill 2019 approved as follows. Clauses 2A to H as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Clerk of the Senate, please reflect the amendment in the bill accordingly. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the second to the seventh orders of the day are House bills for concurrence as listed on the order paper. Distinguished senators will recall that these bills were read the first time in this chamber on Tuesday, 30th April 2019, Tuesday, 7th May 2019, Thursday, 31st May 2018, Tuesday, 19th March 2019, and Tuesday, 14th May 2019, respectively. Mr. President, for the simple nature of the amendments, I will use a single lead debate on these bills. Should I go ahead? Mr. President, very respected colleagues, permit me to lead the debate on the following bills from the House of Representatives for our concurrence. 1. Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission Establishment etc. Bill 2019 HB 975. 2. Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill 2019 HBs 918 and 1529. 3. Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency Establishment etc. Bill 2019 HB 1383. 4. Projects Development Agency Inugu Proda Establishment etc. Bill 2019 HB 1542. 5. Good Samaritans Bill 2019 HB 171. And 6. Data Protection Bill 2019 HB 02. Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues, the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission Establishment Bill 2019 HB 975 was read the first time on Saturday, 25th April 2019. This bill seeks to establish the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission to provide a legal framework for the regulation of employment and working conditions of area council staff with a view to professionalizing the Federal Capital Territory Area Councils to enhance efficiency in the service. Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill 2019 was read the first time on Thursday, 25th April 2019. This bill seeks to amend the Public Holiday Act Cap P40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for the substitution of Item 5 to the schedule with Democracy Day 12th of June. Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency Establishment Bill 2019 was read the first time on Tuesday, 14th May 2019. This bill seeks to provide a legal framework for the continuous growth of Nigeria Natural Medicine Development Agency, NNMDA, to provide research, develop, promote, collect, document, and preserve Nigeria's indigenous, traditional, healthcare systems, medications and non-medications, healing arts, sciences, technologies, bioresources, and facilitate their integration into the national healthcare delivery system. Project Development Agency Enugu Proda, Bill 2019 was read the first time on Tuesday, 14th May 2019. This bill seeks, among other things, to put in place a legal framework for the continued growth and existence of Project Development Agency Proda in Enugu. Good Samaritans Bill 2019 was read the first time on Thursday, 25th April 2019. This bill seeks to provide a legal framework for the protection of any person who renders assistance to others during emergency situations. Data Protection Bill 2019 was read the first time on Tuesday, 14th May 2019. This bill seeks to provide legal and institutional framework for the regulation of personal data processing by private and public organizations in order to avoid the deleterious effect of unauthorized access to data subject data. Mr. President, my respected and distinguished colleagues, these bills are not controversial and have gone through the necessary rigorous scrutiny and public hearings in the House of Representatives. I therefore urge you all to support the second reading of these bills as we refer them to the Committee of the Whole for clause-by-clause consideration. Thank you, Mr. President.
If there are no objections, I'll put the question then. Those in favor that this bill now be read the second time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Federal Capital Territory Area Council's Service Commission and for related matters 2019, second reading.
A bill for an act to establish the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission and for related matters 2019 is read the second time. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Public Holiday Act, Cap P40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to bring the act in tandem with the current realities and exigencies of the modern times and to declare June 12 as Democracy Day in Nigeria and for related matters 2019, second reading.
An act to amend the Public Holidays Act, Cap P40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to bring the act in tandem with the current realities and exigencies of modern times and to declare June 12 as Democracy Day in Nigeria and for related matters 2019, second reading taken. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency to provide research, develop, promote, collate, document, and preserve Nigerian indigenous traditional health care system, medication and non-medication, healing arts, science, technologies, bioresources, and facilitate their integration into the national health care delivery system and for related matters 2019, second reading.
For an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency to provide research, development, promote, collate, document, and preserve Nigeria's indigenous traditional healthcare system, medications and non-medications, healing, arts, sciences, technologies, bioresources, and facilitate their integration into the national healthcare delivery system and from related matters 2019, second reading taken. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Project Development Agency, PRODA, Enugu, to conduct scientific, engineering, and technological research aimed at facilitating the domestication and industrialization of appropriate technology for socio-economic advancement of Nigeria and for related matters 2019, second reading.
An act to establish the Projects Development Agency, PRODA, Enugu, to conduct scientific, engineering, and technological research aimed at facilitating and domestication and industrialization of appropriate technology for socio-economic advancement of Nigeria and for related matters, 2019, second reading taken. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the protection of persons who render reasonable assistance during emergency situations occurring at places within federal jurisdiction and to serve as a model to be adopted by the states of the Federation and for related matters 2019, second reading.
An act to provide for the protection of persons who render reasonable assistance during emergency situations occurring at places within federal jurisdiction and to serve as a model to be adopted by the states of the Federation and for related matters 2019, second reading taken. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Data Protection Commission charged with the responsibility for the protection of personal data and data subjects' rights and the regulation of the processing of personal information and for related matters 2019, second reading.
An act to provide for the establishment of Data Protection Commission charged with responsibilities for the protection of personal data and data subjects' rights and the regulation of the processing of personal information and for related matters 2019, second reading taken. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate close the Committee of the Whole to consider the report one after the other.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I ask to second the motion that the Senate resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider this report one after the other. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, we have 6 bills. The first one, Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission. (24 clauses). I'll move swiftly through them. I don't think anything controversial here. All retained. Those in favor that clause 1 to 10 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 11 to 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 21, 22, 23 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the short title clause 24 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 13 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The second bill is Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill 2019. Just 3 clauses here. Those in favor. Those in favor that clauses 1, 2, 3 stands, clauses 1 and 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the short title stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the explanatory memorandum on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor of the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is the bill for Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency, established in Structure Bill 2019, HB 1383. Here there are 33 clauses. Those in favor that clause 1 to 10 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clauses 11 to 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 21 to 30 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 31, 32 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the short title clause 33 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Schedule 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 19 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is a bill for Projects Development Agency and Enugu Proda. This has 46 clauses. Those in favor that clause 1 to 10 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 11 to 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 21 to 30 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 31 to 40 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that clause 41 to 45 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that short title clause 46 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Schedule 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that explanatory memorandum on page 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The next bill is a Good Samaritan bill. This one only has 5 clauses. Nelson. Distinguished colleagues, there are 5 clauses here. Those in favor of clauses 1 to 4 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of the short title, clause 5 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 2 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And then the last one is the Data Protection Bill 2019 HB 02. These are 73 clauses. Those in favor of clause 1 to 10 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clauses 11 to 20 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clauses 21 to 30 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 31 to 40 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 41 to 50 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 51 to 60 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor of clause 61 to 70 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that clauses 71, 72 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that short title clause 73 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that Schedule 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor that the explanatory memorandum on page 41 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. And those in favor that the long title on page 1 stands part of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate presents the plenary for the charge of progress.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do now move to plenary to report our progress as so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission Establishment, etc. Bill 2019 and approve as follows. Clauses 1 to 23 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Public Holiday Act Amendment Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 2 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency established etc. Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clause 1 to 32 as recommended, Schedule 1 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Projects Development Agency and New Project Establishment Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 45 as recommended, Schedule 1 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Good Samaritan Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 4 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Distinguished colleagues, the Senate in the Committee of the Whole considered the Data Protection Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 72 as recommended, Schedule 1 as recommended, explanatory memorandum as recommended, short title as recommended, long title as recommended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Clerk of Senate. Leader of Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bills be now read the third time.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that these bills be now read the third time as to second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the bills will now be read the third time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission and for related matters 2019, third reading.
A bill for an act to establish the Federal Capital Territory Area Council Service Commission and for related matters 2019 is read at the time and passed. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to amend the Public Holiday Act, Cap P40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to bring the Act in tandem with the current realities and the exigencies of the modern times, and to declare June 12 as a Democracy Day in Nigeria, and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
A bill for an act to amend the Public Holidays Act, Cap P40, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to bring the act in tandem with the current realities and exigencies of the modern times, and to declare June 12 as Democracy Day in Nigeria, and for related matters, 2019, is read the third time and passed. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency to provide research, develop, promote, collate, document, and preserve Nigerian indigenous traditional healthcare system, medication, and non-medication healing arts, science, technology, bioresources, and facilitate their indigenous integration into the national healthcare delivery system, and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
An act to provide for the establishment of Nigerian Natural Medicine Development Agency to provide research, develop, promote, collate, document, and preserve Nigeria's indigenous traditional healthcare system, medications, non-medications, healing arts, sciences, technologies, bioresources, and facilitate their integration into the national healthcare delivery system, and for related matters, 2019 is read the third time and passed. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to establish the Project Development Agency, PRODA, Enugu, to conduct scientific, engineering, and technological research aimed at facilitating the domestication and industrialization of appropriate technology for socio-economic advancement of Nigeria, and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
An act to establish the Project Development Agency, PRODA, Enugu, to conduct scientific, engineering, and technological research aimed at facilitating the domestication and industrialization of appropriate technology for socio-economic advancement of Nigeria, and for related matters, 2019, is read the third time and passed. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the protection of persons who render reasonable assistance during emergency situations occurring at places within federal jurisdiction, and to serve as a model to be adopted by the states of the Federation, and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
An act to provide for the protection of persons who render reasonable assistance during emergency situations occurring at places within federal jurisdiction, and to serve as a model to be adopted by the states of the Federation, and for related matters, 2019, is passed. That is read the third time and passed. Clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the Data Protection Commission charged with the responsibility for the protection of personal data and data subjects' rights, and the regulation of the processing of personal information, and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
An act to provide for the establishment of the Data Protection Commission charged with responsibility for the protection of personal data and data subjects' rights, and the regulation of the processing of personal information, and for related matters, 2019, is read the third time and passed. Leader.
I will stand it down. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the eighth order of the day is the consideration of the ad hoc committee report on the Promissory Notes Program and a bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligations. Mr. President, may we invite Senator Francis Ali McKenna move the motion for the Senate to receive and consider the report of the committee.
Senator Francis Ali McKenna.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Francis Ali McKenna, representing the good people of Edo North. Mr. President, I rise to move that the Senate do receive and consider the report on the Alcohol Committee on the Promissory Note Program and the bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligations. I so move.
Senator Duque.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do consider the report of the Ad hoc Committee on Promissory Note Program, and the bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligations. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do consider the report of the Ad hoc Committee on Promissory Notes Program, on the Promissory Note Program and the bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligations. Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Francis Alimekina, can you present your report? Oh, to lay and then report and then present. Senator Francis, present your report.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Francis Alimekina, representing the good people of Edo North. The report on the Ad hoc Committee on the Promissory Note Program and bond issuance to settle inherited local debts and contractual obligations on report to state government. Mr. President, the Senate at its sitting on Wednesday, 9th May 2018, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the establishment of a promissory note program and a bond issuance to settle local debts and contractual obligations, and thereafter constituted an ad hoc committee for further legislative action. Members of the committee on page 1, background. Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues, you may recall that the Senate at its sitting on the 24th July 2018, 5th December 2018, 20th December 2018, and 23rd January 2019, considered and approved the reports of the Ad hoc Committee recommending the refund to reimbursement to state government for projects executed on behalf of the federal government and the payment of claims in the export-expulsion grant EEG scheme, as well as payment of outstanding contractual liabilities. Outstanding claim of 23 states were approved as transmitted to the executive, thereby leaving 2 states behind, Bauchi and Kogi, who were unable to present justifiable documents to ascertain the genuineness of their claims for projects executed on behalf of the federal government and requested by the committee. Action by the committee, finding and recommendation. Go to recommendation on page 3. The committee recommends that the Senate do approve a promissory note program and bond issuance in the sum of 14,623,031,107.51 kobo as referred to Bauchi State government for projects executed on behalf of the federal government. Conclusion. The Ad hoc Committee sincerely expresses appreciation to the Senate leadership and the entire Senate for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I so move, Mr. President.
Any comments? The question then. Those in support of the recommendation? Yes, leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues. Mr. President, let me congratulate our ad hoc committee for bringing this report. And it's high time, of course, we approved. But Mr. President, let me also advise the Senate that we have one more state request left, and that's Kogi. It will behoove the Senate to also pass and approve for Kogi State. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, these are funds spent by those states. So Kogi shouldn't be left alone in this respect. I advise that this is something we can do by next week, today being the last legislative day of this week. I so advise, Mr. President. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, let me put the question. Those in favor of the recommendation say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate, I have noted your comments. I'm presiding. You are the leader. You are the one that will make it happen. I just preside. Leader of the Senate, next item on the other paper.
Ka gaya masa shi ma yana cikin wanda ba su san aiki. Mr. President, Ikuha, next week now for you.
Okay, God bless you.
Thank you.
I'll do that and talk to him.
Yes. Should I go ahead?
Go ahead, leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the ninth order of the day is the presentation and consideration of the Conference Committee report on the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons Bill 2019. Distinguished senators will recall that the Senate and the House passed different versions of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons Bill 2019. The Conference Committee of both houses have met and harmonized the differences in accordance with Senate Standing Order 88. Mr. President, we wish to invite distinguished Senator Abdulaziz Nyako to move the motion for the Senate to consider the conference report.
Senator Jack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the bill was laid yesterday, and it was agreed that they will consider it. It was referred to our committee on the 2nd of April 2019, and we sat over it last Friday. There were two key issues between the House and us. The issue of whether the Refugee Commission should remain under the Ministry of Interior, and the issue of stateless persons. We agreed that the Refugee Commission should remain under the SGS office. That is what is already contained in the extant law, and at the same time, that was what was contained in the Senate's version. So both the House and the Senate agreed that the Refugee Commission should remain under the SGF's office. There was the issue of stateless persons. It was generally considered that though Nigeria has agreed to certain conditions related to stateless persons, hardly any country in the world has domesticated that particular rule because of certain complications that might arise and a clash with the Constitution, and as such, the House version was dropped. In all, we had 45 clauses. The Senate version had 45 clauses, and the House of Reps had 44 clauses. May I kindly go to the recommendations, sir? The committee agreed that the title of the Senate version be adopted and that clauses 4, 12, 22, 24, 25, and 43 of the House version be adopted. We also agreed that clauses 1, 3, 4, that is 1, 3, 5, sorry about that. Yes, clauses 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 15, 21, 23, 27, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44 of the Senate version be adopted. The details of these recommendations are attached. In conclusion, members of the Conference Committee wish to express their deep appreciation for the opportunity to serve in this capacity. We are putting our very best to this assignment, and it is our considered opinion that if the recommendations preferred above are adopted and faithfully implemented, they will have positive impact on the welfare, morale, and survival of all internally displaced persons, refugees, and migrants in Nigeria. Once again, Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
All right, thank you, Senator Nyako. In the absence of any comment, I would like to put the question. Dear colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do approve the Conference Committee report on the National Commission for Refugees, Migrant and Internally Displaced Persons, Bill 2019, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the bill is accordingly passed. So thank you, Senator Nyako. And I believe that at this moment, we will have increased number of refugees and internally displaced people, that this will come handy in addressing the issues. So we appreciate the work we've done, and congratulate the Senate for passing this bill today. Thank you. Sir Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the 10th order of the day is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters on the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control of Nigeria Bill 2019. Distinguished senators will recall that the report of the committee was laid on Thursday, 3rd May 2018. Mr. President, may we invite Senator Benga Shafa to move the motion for the consideration of the report.
Senator Shafa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Benga Shafa, Lagos East Senatorial District, standing in for Senator Emmanuel Polka. I hereby stand to submit a report on the bill for an act to establish the chartered.
You have to move the motion for the bill to be considered.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I hereby move a motion that a bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control Establishment, ETC, SB 172, be considered and debated today. I so move.
Senator Ndume, can you second the motion? Senator Ndume. Senator Ndume, can you second the motion?
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, Mr. President, thank you for calling me to order, even though you are not the chief whip. I want to second the motion moved by my distinguished colleague. I'm not going through exams now. I saw second.
Anyway, I'm not the chief. I'm only trying to suspend their campaign for a while. Is it because those in support of the motion say aye? Then I guess then the ayes have it. Go on, Senator Shafa.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Senate at its plenary sitting on Wednesday, 31st January 2018, deliberated on the bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control in Nigeria, SD 172. After a painstaking and exhaustive deliberation on the general principles of the bill, it was read for the second time and referred to the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service for further legislative action by Senate Order of Referral dated 1st February 2018 and to report back its recommendations. The bill was sponsored by distinguished Senator David Umaru, Niger East Senatorial District, and it was read for the first time, as I said, on Wednesday, 18th May. The objective of the bill is as stated. Among the stated objectives, I would just like to mention 2 out of the 5 here. One is to address the prevailing active shortage of core finance and control professionals in public and public organizations to effectively source and utilize funds to enhance organizational growth. Secondly, among the 5, I will go to the last one, which is to create a platform for the army of finance graduates, including PhD holders and professors of finance in our universities, including several others, exercising core finance in Nigerian private and public sectors so that they too can have a sense of belonging, like their counterparts in other professionals such as accounting, taxation, personnel management, public administration, and so on and so forth. On committee's legislative actions, the committee resolved to conduct a public hearing in order to avail stakeholders and the general public the opportunity to make further inputs on the merits, justifications for the passage of the bill by the National Assembly. Accordingly, the committee received memoranda from so many organizations, the Law Reform Commission, Central Bank, Professor Ahmed Ede Obame, Professor of Economics, Finance, University of Benin, and several other gurus in the financial sector. It is important to stress here that apart from memoranda submissions, oral presentations were made at the public hearing by some stakeholders, NGOs, and members of the public. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I wish to state here that the committee, in line with its resolution, conducted the public hearing on Wednesday, 14th March 2018 at the Senate Conference Hall, the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Senator Abubakar Bukola Saraki, the Senate President, was represented by Senator Distinguished Senator Philip T. Aduda. The highlights of the presentations by stakeholders include the entire gamut of the Nigerian financial system. Finance professionals work as service providers in various capacities, including financial controllers, financial analysts, investment analysts, rater, fundraisers, etc. The aim of the bill, according to them, is to bring these professionals under one umbrella of professionalism, discipline, and excellent service delivery. The committee, as proposed under the bill, therefore has no powers regarding policy formulation or control of the consolidated revenue as contended by the few opposing bills. Going through the
objectives and the rating, I would like to go to the observations and findings. From the preponderance of views canvassed by stakeholders and members of the public at the public hearing and our subsequent analysis of the presentations vis-a-vis the provisions of the bill in the course of the committee's meetings, we hereby make the following observations and findings. That an overwhelming majority of stakeholders present at the public hearing supported the passage of the bill. 2, that the establishment of the institute contemplated by this bill will create a platform for collaboration with other professional bodies in order to engender growth and development of the nation's economy. And going to the last reasons, that the legal and institutional framework contemplated under this bill will afford Nigerians the opportunity to be trained and be certified as finance experts to fill vacancies in areas that are the exclusive preserve of the genre of this genre of professionals. Recommendation: the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service, to which this bill was referred, having critically, painstakingly considered same, recommends as follows: that the Senate do consider and pass the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control of Nigeria Establishment (ETC) Bill 2018 as amended. I so move. In conclusion, I wish to use this opportunity to thank the President of the Senate and our distinguished colleagues for the opportunity to serve in this capacity and to humbly request the Senate to pass this bill. I so move. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. Senate Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate goes to committee report to consider the report.
Mr. President, I second that the Senate is not interested.
Dear colleagues, those in support of the motion say aye. Those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. In the absence of comments, we will go straight to the clauses. Those of us clause 1 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 2. Those of us clause 2 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 3. Those of us clause 3 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 4. Those in support of clause 4 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 5 and 6 at page 9. Those in support of clauses 5 and 6 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 7 and 8, page 11. Those support of clauses 7 and 8 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 9, clause 10, and clause 11. Those in support that clauses 9, 10, and 11 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 12 and 13 at page 14. Those in support that clauses 12 and 13 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 14 and 15. Those in support that clauses 14 and 15 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 16 and 17 at page 18. Those support that clauses 16 and 17 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 18, 19, and 20. Those support that clauses 18, 19, and 20 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 21 and 22. Those support that clauses 21 and 22 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 23. Those support that clause 23 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 24 at page 25. Those support that clause 24 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 25. Those support that clause 25 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clauses 26 and 27 at page 29. Those support that clauses 26 and 27 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those support that clauses 28, 29 and 30 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those support that clause 31, 32 and 33, 34 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 35 and 36. Those support that clauses 35 and 36 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clause 37. Those support that clause 37 stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those support that the schedule stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those support that explanatory memorandum, the short title and long title stamp out of the bill say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senate Leader. Senate Leader.
Sorry. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate reverse to plenary for the charge report progress.
Mr. Chairman, I second that the Senate report to plenary to report progress.
The Senate colleagues don't support that the chair now report progress say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Dear colleagues, the Senate and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Establishment and Public Service on the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control of Nigeria, etc. Establishment Bill 2019 and approved as follows. Clauses 1 to 36 as recommended, Schedule 1 as recommended, Explanatory Memorandum as recommended, Short title as recommended, Long title as recommended. It is a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole. All right. Senate Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I move that the bill be now read the third time.
Mr. President, I rise to second that the bill be read the third time.
Distinguished colleagues don't support that it be read 10 times say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk of Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, the bill for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control of Nigeria, charged with the responsibility to, among other things, set up ethical standards for professionals in the finance control and for related matters, 2019, third reading.
Very distinguished colleagues, an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Finance and Control of Nigeria, charged with the responsibility to, among other things, set up ethical standards for professionals in finance and control and for related matters, 2019, third reading taken and passed. Senate Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the 11th order of the day is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Communications on the 2019 budget proposal for the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. Distinguished senators will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, the 8th of May 2019. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Gilbert Naji to move the motion for the Senate to consider and approve the report.
Senator Naji.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate consider the report of Committee on Communication on the 2019 budget proposal for the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC. I so move.
Senator Solomon, can you second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. President. Adeola Olamide from Solomon, representing Lagos West Secretarial District. I rise to second the motion that this Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Communication on the Nigerian Communications Commission budget proposal for the year ending 31st December 2019. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Naji can proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Gilbert in Enugu East. Mr. President, in accordance with Section 19(1) of Nigerian Communication Act 2003, and Section 20 Schedule of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) projects an income of 218.7 billion, out of which recurrent expenditure is 44.3 billion and capital expenditure is 22.2 billion. The sum of 15.7 billion is for special projects, while the sum of 13.5 billion and 122.9 billion will be transferred to the Universal Service Provision Fund (USPF) and Federal Government of Nigeria, respectively. Mr. President, the summary of the budget is stated in the report. Let me go to the findings. Findings: the management of NCC, the management of Nigerian Communication Commission, led by its Executive Vice Chairman, appeared before the committee to defend the Commission year 2019 budget proposal on Thursday, 25th April 2019. After exhausting the deliberation, the committee observed as follows. 1. The Commission revenue of 208.7 billion consists of annual licensing fee 886.1 million, annual operating revenue 45 billion, spectrum fee 34.9 billion, numbering plan 3.1 billion naira, admin charges 88.6 million, type approval fee 220 million, spectrum fee 110 billion, sundry income 25.5 million, and transfer from reserve is 24.5 billion. 2. The Commission total expenditure of 218.7 billion consists of total recurrent expenditure for 4.3 billion, total capital expenditure 22.2 billion, and total special project 15.7 billion. Transfer to the federal government stand at 122.9 billion, while transfer to the Universal Service Provision Fund is 13.5 billion. The Commission total budget revenue and total budgeted expenditure for the year 2019 remain at the same at 218.7 billion. Recommendation: it is hereby recommended that the sum of 218,779,377,000 naira only be approved for Nigerian Communication year 2019 budget. Prayers: that the Senate do approve the recommendation of the committee. I so move, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Any comment? I can now put the question. Dear colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do approve the 2019 budget proposal for the Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. This is a very loud aye. Adjola. All right. Thank you, Senator Nnaji. You know, this is a very strategic sector of our economy. So I believe that with the passage of these budgets, they'll be able to play a major role in ensuring that their mandate is well taken care of and that they continue to do us proud in Africa. So congratulations. Stay leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, having concluded today's proceedings, the last one. Oh, you have another one. You alone? Are you ready to take it?
Is that because you are a prince that you have two?
We thought it's not here. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, the 12th and last order of the day is the consideration of the report of the Committee on Communications of the 2019 budget proposal for the Universal Service Provision Fund. Distinguished senators will recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 8th May 2019. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Gilbert Nnaji to move the motion for the Senate to consider and approve the report.
Senator Nnaji.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, I move that the Senate do consider the report of the Committee on Communication on the 2019 budget proposal for the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF. I so move.
Senator Odua.
Mr. President, dear colleagues, my name is Senator Stella Adezodua. I represent Anambra North. Mr. President, I second that the Senate adopt the report of the Committee on Communication on 2019 budget proposal for the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF.
Well, thank you. Therefore, distinguished colleagues, those support that the Senate do not consider the report say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Nnaji.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me go straight to the finding. The management of the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, led by the Secretary, appeared before the committee to defend the fund year 2019 budget proposal on Thursday, 25th April 2019. And after exhaustive deliberation, the committee observed as follows. 1. That the fund total budget revenue for 2019 is 15 billion 174 million 125,072 kobo only. 2. Similarly, the fund total budgeted expenditure for 2019 is 15.1 billion only. This consists of Secretariat recurrent expenditure 1.9 billion. Secretariat capital expenditure 102.2 million. And USPF projects and programs 13.0 billion. Recommendation. It is hereby recommended that the sum of 15,174,125,072 Naira only be approved as the Universal Service Provision Fund 2019 budget. Prayers that the Senate do approve the recommendation of the committee. I so move.
In the absence of any comment, I'll put the question. Very distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do not approve the report of the 2019 budget proposal for the Universal Service Provision Fund, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So this is accordingly approved. Senate Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, having concluded today's proceedings on the order paper, I hereby move that we adjourn till Tuesday next week, 21st day of May 2019 at 10 a.m. from.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do stand adjourned Tuesday, 21st of May 2019 at 10 a.m. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those support that Senate do now adjourn to Tuesday, 21st day of May 2019 at 10 a.m. from say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I wish you a very happy weekend.